ADMANITYAvenueRadio.world.
Hello, my name is Pastor Derek Lane, and I live and pastor here in the Othello community. I'm vaccinated because I know how illness can hurt a community. As a grandfather, I am boosted to help protect my 3.5-year-old granddaughter who can't be. I don't want to see members of my community die needlessly. And as a pastor, I've had funerals for those who caught COVID, but none from taking the vaccine. If you have questions, need resources, or want to make an appointment, visit kingcounty.gov/vaccine.
What's on your heart? Are you exhausted at the lack of progress for people of color in business, politics, and life? This is Cindy Bright, the host of Heartbeat Radio. Each week, we explore this heart condition of the country that is affecting you and me. We have real conversations about what's necessary for change. It's time to change this dialogue. Will you join this Heartbeat weekly, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. on Rainier Avenue Radio?
Rainier Avenue Radio.world is your 24/7 digital media hub. Tune in at Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and TuneIn app.
Well, Bettina, Carey here, and I am the founder and CEO of We Empower You, the community, and WeEmpowerYourLife.com, the website. And I'm so excited to be on Rainier Avenue Radio live every single Thursday. We're here to help shatter revenue ceilings and other glass ceilings that are out there because, well, glass ceilings are meant to be broken right down to the floor as far as I'm concerned. Do you wonder why folks buy what you're selling so that you could sell even more? Can you relate to the statement, I know half of my marketing is working, I just don't know which half? Well, with me today is Brian Gregory. Brian is the CEO of ADMANITY and creator of the ADMANITY Protocol, the world's first emotional algorithm for small business brand analysis. The ADMANITY Protocol can analyze any company brand in 5 minutes online and then create an agency-level advice on how that business should take their product to market and advertise emotionally to reach those most likely to buy. The algorithm identifies the ideal tactics, strategies, and ad formulas that can be used, as well as a myriad of other marketing recommendations. It is a breakthrough for small business that needs that kind of strategy, as well as for ad agencies that are hired to create them, like myself. And he has been an entrepreneur for over 40 years, has spent 20 years in the magazine, publishing, advertising, and agency realm. He's written the book, Sheep Don't Eat Complicated Grass, and he's very passionate about the advantages of emotional marketing. He's an advertising sales master, author, speaker, and an expert on emotional marketing and branding tactics. Welcome back, Brian. It's so great to have you.
Hey, Bettina. It's great to be here as always. Happy to always be on your show. Your show has so many great positive things to say. I'm glad I'm one of them.
Absolutely, you're one of them. We met last year. You've been a part of our We Empower You Global Virtual Summits, talking a little bit about the ADMANITY Protocol. So first, define what do you mean by ADMANITY? And the company name itself needs a little explaining, but not too much, I have to say.
Yeah, it's thanks for asking. ADMANITY is a word we created, and it comes from advertising. That's the ad part, and humanity. That's the manity part. So ADMANITY is the blending of advertising as it affects other humans. Because if you're not influencing or persuading other humans, I don't know who we're talking to. Got to be able to do that. So that's what ADMANITY means.
Fantastic. And that really speaks to my heart because I've been in business almost 29 years this May, and I've always done it from my humanity, right? And so I love that that's part of your brand. And of course, we've got some similar colors in our brand too, don't we?
Yeah, we both have these awesome logos, which, I mean, we try to teach people not to put too much thought into your logo because although it's fun and it's cool, it doesn't necessarily convey the emotions. But when you're able to have a really nice logo like you do, you should, if you can. Not everybody can do that. It's very nice. I always thought your logo was cool.
Thank you. Thank you. We really love it. And it has a lot of humanity in it too. So, we're going to dive deep into how emotions sell everything. That's a really bold statement. So let's just start right there. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, well, we're all emotional people who have occasional periods of rationality. That's the truth. Most people would like to believe that they are rational people having occasional periods of emotionality, but it's actually just the opposite. Almost all the decisions that we make during the day, there's about 10,000 of them, by the way, are emotionally triggered. And it's not like raving, lunatic, crazy emotions. It just means that's what our brain requires to make a decision. It needs something to sort of push it over the edge. Logic alone can organize the thoughts, can put all the arguments on the table, so to speak, but then an emotion comes in and says, that's the one we want. And only at that point do you say, I'll take it. And you think you rationally reasoned it out, and maybe there was part of that, but really, without our emotional minds, we wouldn't be able to decide to get out of bed in the morning, and we wouldn't get much done. So everything's based on emotion, and there's certain emotions that work in marketing, and there's certain emotions that work in life. And we focus at ADMANITY on the 15 emotions that work to sell products and services, to persuade people to buy products and services. They always have, and they always will.
And so we make the decision to buy on our emotions, and then we take our mind, our cognition, to justify that expense, right? Every time I go out and buy a really expensive pair of shoes or a nice bag, I'm like instantly going like, I don't know if anybody's looking, but I'm buying this bag. I'm buying these shoes. I'm buying this dress. Even if I have the same color dress 10 times hanging in my closet, I can always manage to justify my spend after I have already emotionally decided. So I think I agree with you on this.
Well, I think men and women have closets full of clothes that would agree with you. I mean, we don't buy because it's logical and it's not because that's the smart thing to do and we should just always do the proper right thing. Heck no. We buy Ferraris and Lamborghinis and fancy clothes and steak dinners because we want to, because our emotions are more exciting to us than whatever the logic is. But after we make the decision and we're sitting there and our steak plate is empty, and you're feeling a little guilty that you ate maybe a big steak dinner, then your rational mind.
There's a local restaurant in Seattle named Duke's Chowder House, and hopefully they'll be watching this someday. So I was there on Tuesday, and I was there last night, and I was there just before the show. And I love the way I feel when I'm at Duke's Chowder House. I love the way that the food makes me feel, and it's all healthy. And so they're doing a really great job at triggering me to come in on a frequent enough basis that I probably own a booth at Duke's Chowder House on Lake Union.
Well, yeah. And
there's a little plug for those guys.
Shout out to Duke's Chowder House. Yeah, it's or Duke's Chowder House. It's your emotions that make you buy that, and they know that. And we all agree. I don't think there's anyone listening to the show that would say, Brian, it's a logical decision on everything I buy. They'll agree that it's the emotions that rule the mind when it comes to buying things. But the thing that everybody gets hazy on is which emotions. Okay, so let's
bring up the slide with all those emotions.
We've got to let's go ahead and show that if we can, the 15 emotions on the slide. Okay, so what you're looking at here are the 15 emotions, according to ADMANITY, that have sold everything on planet Earth. Since there have been sales of stuff, these are the emotions that have sold it, and forever and ever into the future, this is what is going to be useful to your children's children's children if they want to try to sell something. And as long as we're selling to human beings, these are the emotions human beings like. And so we figured out at ADMANITY that these were the 15 emotions that motivate us and influence us the most when it comes to buying. And just for the benefit of the people who can't see this chart, I'll mention some of them. Affinity, which is happiness. Authority is trust. Service is a life of ease. Approval, we all want approval from other people. Community, we all want to belong to the right tribe. Fascination is excitement, and we all love excitement. Temptation is about the want. You don't need it, but you want it. Urgency is about fear of loss, fear of missing out. Admiration, ambition, and prestige are about envy, greed, and ego. And they are not evil emotions. They are decision makers in your mind. We show you how to use them. Altruism is about doing the right thing, doing the smart thing. Attraction is about change, transformation, improvement. And innovation is about being curious about something new. And these 15 emotions, when they're in the right combinations, there's like formulas that you have to put them together. We show you which ones they are. They create the greatest ads of all time. They create the biggest sales surges of any company's history. They create how your landing page is going to work, how your email will work, how your social media post will convert. And if you don't use the right combinations of emotions of these 15, you have a weak message that may not work at all. In fact, it might even be just the opposite. It might do damage to the brand if it's not convincing them to buy. It might be convincing them not to buy, and that would be bad. So all of these, they go together. So so imagine you're watching a commercial, and the commercial has a message, like say it's a Geico commercial or something, and they'll often use affinity, and they'll combine it with ambition. And ambition is the greed archetype. So they'll make you laugh with the affinity, make you like the brand, like the lizard, like the cavemen or whatever it is. And then while we're doing that, they say 15 minutes could save you 15% on your car insurance. So there's save money, save time. That's the ambition archetype. So they combine those two. And guess what? They've gone from an obscure insurance company that you've never heard of to the number 2 insurance company in America. And that's exactly how they did it. And they do it the same way every single time. And I think it's interesting that other insurance companies are following suit. So they've said, hey, look at Geico. They went from nothing to like one of the biggest companies ever. And they're just doing the same thing over and over. And so now you see Allstate, and you see Progressive, and you see Liberty Mutual and Farmers. They're all doing it. They're all making you laugh with a message of saving money in some way. And guess what? The top 6 insurance companies that are doing this tactic are all doing the same tactic, and they're all the top 6. So they've actually all competed, and they've all made money at the same time. And they're all using the same exact formula. So it can work even if your competitor across the street is doing it. It doesn't really matter to humans. They just like certain combinations of emotions, and every time they're used, they work. And that's what we figure out at ADMANITY, is which emotions are the ones that will work best for your brand. All right, because it doesn't matter if we analyze, if let's say we wrote a book and said, hey, these are 15 emotions, aren't they great? And you'd say, yeah, they sound great. But how do they apply to me? So what we did is we devised a test that you can take online at ADMANITY.com. And there's actually there's a web page here, ADMANITY.com/we empower you. If you go there, you can find out more, but we have a 5-minute test. You take the test, and now we can show you the formulas of these emotions that work best for whatever you're selling. It could be a product, a service, it could be a profit, a nonprofit, doesn't matter. It could be a big company, a medium company, small company. You could be a hot dog cart. It doesn't matter. We will show you the emotions and the combinations that sell your brand the best and show you exactly how to do it.
That's fantastic. And so just to give a couple of examples of companies that we may know personally, or that we may know just because they're national or international brands, as examples.
Sure. I'll give you one right now. Obviously we just talked about Geico as a real good example of of a modern day brand doing well. But just for fun, I'll give you another example. Okay, and if you're watching this, I am holding a bottle of Absolute vodka. And for those of you who can't see this, this makes me happy. Okay, I've got a nice bottle of Absolute vodka. Now, we've all seen the brand. We all know what it is. But a lot of people aren't familiar with the story of how they got to be such a cool brand. Here's the story. 1980, Absolute Vodka wants to come to the United States. They have 2.5% market share. Almost, they don't even make the scale. Because at the time, the liquor distributors said, hey, if you want good vodka, get the Russian brands. The Russian brands sell. The Russians make vodka. Swedish people make meatballs. We don't want to sell Swedish vodka. Why not? That's just not something that is done, right? And besides, your bottle, I'm holding up the bottle, is really, really boring. Your bottle's boring. So nobody wanted to distribute it. So they said, we got to run some ads. And they started running the famous Absolute vodka campaign where they just said absolute this, absolute that, right? And they just kept one ad coming after the other. No claims about the vodka. They didn't show people enjoying the vodka, drinking it. They didn't use any TV. This was barbaric, primitive print advertising at its finest. Guess what? They became the number one imported vodka in the USA, the number one premium vodka in the world. They became the number one luxury brand, according to Forbes, beating out Gucci, Tiffany, and BMW, if you can believe that. This is a bottle of vodka. The number one luxury brand in the world. They got 50% market share. That means half of all the vodka is Absolute at the time. And the good news is they decided that it'd be a good time to sell the brand. And they sold the brand for $9 billion. Not bad for a company that couldn't even get distribution for a type of vodka the liquor distributors said would never, ever sell. And the reason they did that, it's a technique we show you in your ADMANITY report called symbolic metaphor. Any brand can do it. We show you how to do it. We even give you hundreds of ways to do it inside your ADMANITY report when you get it from us. And it's so simple and so easy. And here's a company that sold an ordinary product and made it number one in the world. Isn't that amazing?
I love it. I love it. And, we've actually tested not just our summit, but also our community. And so if you have multiple layers, products, or services, you can use more than one report to define a particular brand. And so tell us a little bit about what we discovered with our testing, both the community and the We Empower You Summit. What happened?
Well, you can take the test as a brand and say, this is us, we do this thing. I'm a plumber, I unclog drains. And if your business is truly just that simple, then you really only need one test, because that's all you're going to do. Then we're not going to have any trouble figuring out the strategies for that. But let's say, as you found out, you also have an event. You have a membership side to your business, right? Where you want people to belong. That's the community archetype. But you also have an event to put on, and that's the fascination archetype. And, you want to be exciting and interesting, and it's like a show. Yeah. It's like a TV show. And so, if you want to get people to show up to the event, you're going to use different tactics than if you want people to join the brand. And so businesses have diverse things to offer. So, for example, something as simple as a car dealer. The new car division should get a report because they're selling new, shiny, perfect cars. But then the used car division is selling value-based cars, completely different customer, right? They don't care about being shiny and new. And right. Then the service division, nobody wants to go to the service department. That means something's broken. So, there's some different kind of mentality there. And so when you have a business that has multiple channels like that, you want to use multiple ADMANITY reports, and which is exactly what you did. And you found out that, for admiration and for more the desirable product that you are.
Yes,
you use different tactics.
The event ended up being admiration, and the summit. The membership was the authority, right? So we end up being the authority brand as well. We have an event that's very admiration. There's the admiration and the membership, right? So.
Yeah. And for the benefit of the people that are listening, these are just labels. We have to call each type of archetype. An archetype is just a collection of traits that the brand has in common. So we give them labels like admiration and affinity and authority. But what's really more interesting than the label is the advice and strategies. You open up to page 2, and all of a sudden you're showing you, well, this is how you create authority. This is how you make someone admire you. This is how to be fascinating. These are the emotions that trigger it, because humans are the same. So, we all react the same. So just do the same things that always work. That's what we say.
That's great. So we've put together an opportunity for folks that are attending the summit. Why don't you tell folks a little bit about that?
There's a free webpage that you can go to called ADMANITY.com, and then just put /we empower you after that. So ADMANITY.com, then say /we empower you. And there's a free report there that you can download. It'll show you some insider tips and tricks on how this is done, and how some of the big brands have done it, and how you can do it too. It's absolutely free. There's no obligation. And then it will share with you more about ADMANITY. And if you do want to get involved and get your brand analyzed, because of We Empower You, there will be special benefits and perks, and they can become part of your organization and get all kinds of great stuff for free.
That is really great. And so you're going to be a speaker at the We Empower You Global Virtual Summit, as you have been for many, many quarterly summits. Share what folks can expect to learn when they're there at the summit.
Well, I like to give away secrets, or what I call secrets, things that most people don't know, but they're really very well known if you're a $250,000 a year advertising executive sitting in a nice cushy office somewhere. But to the regular business owner, they're not known. And I like to share simple tactics and strategies that the big brands use, because big brands and small brands should advertise exactly the same. The small brand just won't spend as much, but the emotional tactics can be the same. There's no charge for emotions. There's no charge for words. There's no charge for formulas. They're all free in the universe, easy to use. You just need to know what they are. Once you know what they are, you're fighting fire with fire. And I like to show the fire with fire tactics when I go on your event.
There you go. So for folks that are actually out there watching or listening, the We Empower You community hosts the We Empower You Global Virtual Summit. We do this every single quarter. The next one coming up is on March the 9th, and we're going to be diving deep into all kinds of things in relationship to business and leadership, love, life, and health. And coaching is a noble profession, and it is the profession that folks are doing, and they're struggling to reach the people that they most could be helping. So what we do is we unite coaches as speakers, and coaches also who are there to attend and learn and grow. Again, Brian is one of our speakers. We have 24 speakers on the day. It's a 12-hour marathon day starting at 8:30 a.m. going to 8:30 p.m. You're going to want to get your free ticket, because you must RSVP for the limited number of tickets that we have. And you do that by going to weempoweryourlife.com, click on the Summit Tickets tab to get your free ticket to attend with us. We'd love to have you. If you're a speaker out there and you'd like to go ahead and register to speak, go ahead and go to the website and fill out our form, and you'll be able to get your information to us as well, that you have interest in speaking at the summit. And so, Brian, I want to get your last thoughts here before we sign off. What is a closing tidbit that you might leave the audience here?
Well, I just say this to anybody out there who has a small business, or maybe you just have an idea for one. They don't teach you in school what you really need to know. They teach you what they can teach you. That's fine. Not down on school. But if you really want to succeed, you need to have some of the advantages that the brands that can hire agencies have. It's important. The agencies do great work. We love agencies. We work with a lot of agencies. But if you can't afford that right now, get your brand report through We Empower You. And just do it now. Get going with the program, because it's not getting any easier. COVID didn't help businesses sell anymore. In most cases, it made it harder. So you really got to be on point, on brand, on the mark, and using the right emotions at the right time to attract the right customers so that they spend their money with you, instead of attracting the wrong customers that fill up your customer service department with complaints. You want to bring in the right people for your brand. We'll show you how to do that. So don't think you don't need it. You do, and it's now available at a price that anybody can afford. So don't even worry about that. Just do it.
There you go. Well, thank you so much for joining me here again on Rainier Avenue Radio. Brian, it's always great to have you. You're welcome to come back again and again.
Thank you.
So thanks everyone for listening and or watching. Of course, we love to have your comments, so please feel free to comment and give us your feedback. And join us back here every Thursday at 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Next up is Women's Empowerment Radio, episode 44. And we'll see you all next week. Bye for now.
Coaching is a noble profession, but in these current tumultuous times, so many talented coaches are finding that they simply cannot connect with people that they could be helping. And people need our help more than ever these days. That is why I conceived the We Empower You Global Community and Global Virtual Summit. I'm Bettina, Carey, and I'm inviting you to join with some of the world's leading empowerment coaches, trainers, authors, mentors, and thought leaders for our upcoming We Empower You Global Virtual Summit. There's an old adage and saying that goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. It is in that spirit of togetherness that we aim to help connect more talented coaches to the people that they might help. Join us for free and share your knowledge in this Find Wealth by Giving endeavor. And there isn't a hidden fee or big sales pitch at the end. You will be shoulder to shoulder with some of the world's best thought leaders, newsmakers, and game changers. And you will see for yourself exactly what the We Empower You global community and membership is all about. It's a blend of altruism and business, to be sure. This endeavor is audacious, and we hope to plant seeds that take deep roots. So we need you. If you have a goal of helping others reach and achieve that next rung, if your work aids in lifting people out of self-limiting beliefs, if you are ready to fix the world one client at a time, or spread your message to the masses, you're welcome to join us for our We Empower You Global Summit. Tickets are free, but RSVP is required. Scan the QR code if you're watching on TV, or go to our website at weempoweryourlife.com and click on the Summit Tickets tab to get more information and to claim your free Zoom admission ticket. We empower you. Together we will go far.